I taught American government for 33 years before I came here. And the saddest days I had in those 33 years are those days I had to walk back into the classroom after passing time or after lunch and announce to my students that there was another school shooting today. And I wished I had the foresight or the hindsight to take a hidden camera behind me so I could show everybody in this country the looks on my students' faces after the grown-up in the classroom has to announce to them, we don't care about your well-being. We don't care about your safety. And we had another shooting today in another community somewhere in this wonderful country. I wished I had that hidden camera to show all of my colleagues at every level of government, because I'm sure just showing those 30 faces that were looking at me going, can't you save us? Can't you help us? Can't you do something for my well-being? I'm supposed to be in this building worrying about my first kiss. I'm supposed to be in this building worrying about my finals. I'm supposed to be in this building worrying about a pop quiz for the reading I failed to read. I shouldn't be sitting in this building worrying about post-traumatic stress, getting off the bus. Post-traumatic stress, which we used to attribute to our soldiers overseas, and now it's how we describe our children. I taught for 33 years, and about 9 years ago I had the wonderful blessing of serving you now in the Minnesota Senate. And if you're ever fortunate enough to do two things while you're here today, I'm not sure the building's open, but if it's not, walk down the mall to that statue at the end, because that statue is called the Promise of Youth. The promise of youth. And all those youth, that their youth has been taken from us because of our recklessness, our blindness, our unwillingness to save those kids' lives. And in my 9 years here, my worst day on the Minnesota Senate floor was the day a friend of mine texted me. And she said there was a shooting today at a place called Parkland. And I started reading about what happened that day. And no sooner than I was done processing what happened at another school, I got a text from my wife. And she said one of my favorite students of all time bought a gun that morning and took his life. In 1 hour, I got the news of Parkland, and one of the greatest students of all time, who for whatever reason decided his life wasn't worth living anymore. And that was a tragedy for me, because he truly bared the promise of our youth. If you ever get in this building, walk up what Doran and I walk up every day, the stairs to the Minnesota Senate. And what you'll see is this allegorical mural above my entryway into the Senate. And it depicts an elderly woman huddled around a campfire, contained with thousands of years of wisdom and knowledge and all the things that make Homo sapiens unique. And she has just handed a torch to a middle-aged person. And that middle-aged person is handing a torch to the youth, to the promise of youth. They're handing that torch. And every day I walk out to that mirror and I look up at that torch and I wonder, what kind of torch am I giving the youth today? What kind of thing am I doing? What am I going to do in there? And we hear you. Believe me, the elected officials today hear you. And we will do our best in the coming days and months and years to continue your work. But we can't do it alone, because the Greek philosopher Plato once said, those having torches will pass them on to others. All of you here today have a torch. Now take that torch, pass it on to others, and leave this world a better place than you found it.